Steve Rue, the Dude here, coming to you from Dude Central in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. So we got some good stuff to show you guys today. This is again the closet collection that takes place on every Thursday, where I grab a bunch of stuff that's been lying in the closet and showing you guys what I've done, and anyone who's interested in purchasing this stuff can buy it. Before we get into that, I always do a little show and tell what I'm currently working on. I have this wonderful color Xerox machine, and I'm looking at these wonderful panels that I've actually blown up to probably original size from Prince Valiant, done by Hal Foster. And these things are just honestly they're the greatest achievement ever done in comic strips. He's unsurpassed. He's almost superhuman in the way he goes about doing things. In this book, look at the size of this book right here. This is not just a paperweight that weighs 50 pounds right here. This is a huge book that chronicles the genius of this incredible human being who did the writing, the drawing, the inking, lettered it at one time, and even did the coloring. So that's an example of stuff that is still not printed at original size. His original size is probably from the bottom of this book to here. He took up his entire drawing board, and he spent his entire life chronicling the adventures of this prince in medieval times. And his draftsmanship was utterly unsurpassed. Apparently he had a memory of some renown where whatever he could imagine he could draw. Trees, even just foliage, grass, fauna, things like that. This guy would do masterfully, and he would do it as though every blade of grass was an individual entity in itself. Now that's not something that most comic book artists think about, or most artists, period. But this guy had it all, and I'm so honored to have this book right here. It gives me an incredible sense of inspiration as I'm working on the Nexus artist editions here. Speaking of which, to our back here we have an original page in progress right here, so you can see how I'm going about doing things. You can see the size of these things. They're huge. They're 19 inches high, and they're like 14 inches wide. And this is just the greatest size to be working right here. Again, this is because I wanted to adapt a newspaper strip format. And a format for newspapers is big. It's as big as an actual newspaper, which this is right here. This is a size that newspapers have come out for decades and decades now. And so that's the size that I'm working, that original page size. As you can see, the lettering that I'm doing by hand on the board, something people don't even do anymore, which is pathetic. I don't know how anyone even knows what's going on in stories unless they read it on the damn page. So, oh, and another thing that I'm really thrilled about is the return of Zip-A-Tone. Now, this isn't something we can get at Kmart. This is something we have to make on our own nowadays. Crazy, isn't it? But it's so much fun to be putting this stuff on. And if you looked at my hand 5 minutes ago, you see tons of Zip-A-Tone sticking to my fingers right here. But you can see the way I'm using it on a character named Gnosis right here. That gives this added punch, and I just get really excited about being able to use Zip-A-Tone again. For those of you literate types out there, have you ever wondered where the phrase quiet desperation, men that lead lives of quiet desperation? Well, I woke up this morning and I thought, what does that really mean, according to the author? And I don't know if it's Whitman or Thoreau. It's one of those heavy-duty thinkers. But I have the answer here, which I haven't read yet. So next Thursday, when we do another closet collection broadcast here, I'll let you know what I find out. On the art front, directly from the closet collection is the following here, and I've got these lined up here ready to show you guys. This is on actual 12-field animation paper, a layout for, once again, the non-real, hasn't come to fruition yet, Nexus animated TV show that I've been working on for spanning half my life now. this show is guaranteed to get on the air someday. I simply know no boundaries when it comes to getting what I want in life. Whatever I want, I'm going to get, and this is what I'm going to get eventually right here. If somebody has the wherewithal and the intelligence to pick it up before someone else does, and make the world a better place. That's honestly how I believe about it. So this is Sandra Peel right here, standing in one of her little jump outfits right here. What else do we have? So we have that. We have a shot of Nexus. This is what I would consider a layout. I have no idea why this one is in here. It doesn't have a cross on it that says wrong size or fielded wrong or something. I don't really know, but here it is, and it is something we're offering in the closet collection right here. This is the kind of thing that's called a layout for you guys that don't know much about animation. By the way, it's not animation, dummies. It's animation, non-plural. So I'm here to correct you guys for once and for all. This will be given to an animator who might make the hands move up and fire this beam. Another animator would come in and animate the beam that's being fired here. So there you go. This is from November 6th, 2020. So about a year ago. No, not, well, we're talking math here. I'm forgiven. A close-up of Sandra Peel's face right here. I'm not sure why this was in here. It doesn't have a reject thing stamped over it. But it's a headshot, and it's a head that, on a still shot of her body, her head is moving. There's no reason to move the body unless you have to, but the head always has to move because it's keeping things alive right here. So I think she's tilting her head up right there. Who put this in this pile? I really like that one. So this is something also that's part of the closet collection. And surprise, another one, another rougher drawing of Nexus firing right here. I think what I did here was I just took another piece of paper, put it over this one, cleaned up the drawing, and left this one just as is right here. So this is a chance to get a rougher drawing, which I think a lot of people actually like to see, the rougher stuff. They don't want to see everything being super polished like some kind of a superhuman did it, like Hal Foster here. I'm just a humble dude, and I do a lot of sketchy looking stuff before I get to a final here. So this is an example of that. The other thing, which I think some people find it of interest here, is, and we're working on some actual Strathmore watercolor board. Flowhard, you want to come over here and give a talk to the people here? When you stop itching, that is. See, hound dogs are always itching. This is an example of a hound dog. I know she's a hound dog, Flowhard, because I asked somebody one day, I said, what kind of blowhard do you think this is right here? And the guy goes, it looks like a hound dog to me. So that's a hound dog. This is a study piece that I did right here. Oh, it looks like prepping for Superman OMAC, which I think was an 11-page story that I had done, where I had to paint the cover, and I was experimenting with some of the mediums here. It looks like I'm working with either acrylic or gouache right here. And these are some of the many little studies I did of things like a thumb, and working out some of the blended tones that I use for a lot of my work right here to get soft edges. So it's on a very sturdy watercolor paper that is very archival. It's going to last a lot longer than we are, folks. So there's that. We have that, and we have two more things right here. Tell me if you know this character from 1938. Is it? Yeah, okay. He's got a big S on his chest, and he's got a red cape, and he's got a great haircut. This is Superman. I did this one. Actually, I don't remember why I did this one, but it turned out pretty nice. It's kind of on the loose side as far as my normal technique goes.
I think that's one that you did that somebody ordered a marker.
Oh, Mr. Producer's telling me that I screwed up on the order right here. The person originally ordered a marker sketch, and I went a little overboard here. So this is the way it turned out. And
then you redid it as a
marker. It's a fully painted piece right here that measures big enough so that everyone that walks in your foyer can get a treat from looking at. So there you go. There's Superman. The last one here is one of my personal favorites. I would not be selling this if I had any choice. This is Batgirl right here. We all recognize her. I love the way this turned out. This has actually got some colored pencil added to it for accents in the color and the technique. I think it turned out pretty good. You can see, if you get close up right here, you can see the hair has got a lot of color pencil strokes in it. But for the most part, it's it's pretty much an opaque painting done in probably opaque watercolor, gouache, whatever you want to call it. I really like the way this one turned out right here, and I hope you guys do too. So these are the offerings that we have for the closet collection this Thursday. We'll do this every Thursday from now on. I've got tons and tons and tons of work that used to be under the bed and now is currently in the closet. Mr. Producer has
The cosplay.
oh yeah, okay, so here, let's check this out right here, guys. You follow me around right here as we walk over here. I've been informed by Mr. Producer that this is a piece that is asking for some notice right here. Now, this is an offer that you're never going to hear from anyone else, but because I'm Steve Rude the Dude, you're going to hear it from me. Is there any glare in the camera right there?
No.
Okay, no glare. That's good. This is a piece that I did half finished.